So we continue to see in the Gospel of John how Jesus is calling his disciples. First it was Andrew and John yesterday, and then Andrew went to Peter, and Peter came, and now today we hear about Philip and how Philip goes to Nathanael and says, "You got to come and see. Come and see this man who is the one." And we look and we say, they gave up everything to follow Christ. I was reading something by Matthew Kelly this morning, and he was talking about one of the big things that's a problem in our culture is what's called FOMO, fear of missing out. He talks about that, people want to get involved in everything, and they don't want to have to settle for something because, something greater might come along. And he said, that's just not true, because we're not going to be able to dedicate ourselves to anything if we're always looking for something better coming along. If you're in a relationship with someone and you're saying, this is a good relationship, but what if someone else better comes along? You're not going to be able to engage into the relationship and make it good. And so he shared about this, about the importance not of FOMO, but of JOMO. JOMO, what's that? Joy of missing out. That when we dedicate ourselves to something, we know we're going to miss out on something else. We know that we have to. But because we've decided to go for the one thing necessary, we can find joy. And Andrew and John and Peter and Nathanael and Philip, they found the one thing into which they should put all of their energy. Jesus. Imagine if they had said, he's pretty good, but what if there's someone else? So I'll kind of keep following Jesus a little bit, but I'll be keeping my eye out. What if, that John the Baptist guy, he's pretty cool. What if there's someone else? There's Theudas. I remember Theudas. He did that thing back then. And it wouldn't be giving their fullness. And the Lord invites us today to say, are we giving our full hearts to Him? When we look at all the things that we get distracted by, all the things that can pull us away from Almighty God, He invites us, no, come back to me. Put all of your energy into me. And have joy at missing out on some of those other things which are distracting you from following me. Now, does this mean that if you're married that you ignore your husband or your wife? No, of course not. That's part of your vocation, and that's part of following Christ, is following your vocation, of course. But it does mean that there's a lot of stuff that isn't part of our vocations that we choose to distract ourselves with. That we need to say, I need to let this go. And you know what? I'm okay with missing out because I have found Jesus, the one thing necessary.